Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. I know I've been gone for quite some time. However, I got really sick on Sunday night after the Makeup Geek brunch. And then this past Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I was still in bed sick. So I am back today. I still have a little bit of a runny nose. However, we're gonna push through so that way I can get this video up for you today. I just wanted to apologize for my absence. I know it's just kind of weird not seeing me for 3 days on my channel without a video. Jack has been all over my butt, but I am back and ready to attack. In this video, we're going to be talking about the new MakeupGeek Power Pigments. They launched today and they're $9 a pan. They came out with 10 separate shades, and I'll show you guys all of them right here. This is also their new magnet palette. That's really, really nice, you guys, and you can fit a bunch of shadows in here. They're going towards the rectangular shape as opposed to the circular shape, just to kind of differentiate themselves from other palettes and other eyeshadows, because as you know, everyone has the circular pans. Makeup Geek, Anastasia Beverly Hills, Morphe, ColourPop, everything. So going to the square pans, you're going to be able to use or have more shades in this palette or in a Z palette. And also you'll be able to say oh, those are my Makeup Geek shadows, as opposed to being I don't know what shade that is, I don't know what brand that is, let me pick up the magnet and check it out. So we have 10 shades of the Power Pigments, and these are pure pigments in a pressed form. There are some vegan shades and there are some that are just, just a regular kind of formulation, I guess you can say. I don't remember which ones are vegan. I saw it on someone's swatches on underneath the Makeup Geek hashtag. However, they launched today, like I mentioned, and they're $9. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch some of these for you guys so that way you guys can see them and everything like that, and also give you guys the names. If you guys are interested in that, then please keep on watching. So the first shade we have here is Tenacious, which is a blue-green. It's kind of like a sea green color, and it is stunning, you guys. I'm just gonna swatch them just right here on my wrist. This is just one swatch of them. They of course build up to be a little bit more vibrant as you build them up, and also as you have a primer. And then we have a Dynamic, which is an orange. It just looks like this. You guys know I love the oranges and the yellows and the greens. All of those are really, really nice. Those are my favorite colors. And then we have a red. You guys, reds are so hard to formulate, and also you don't see a lot of pure red pigmented eyeshadows. So this is called Untouchable. And like I mentioned, it's just a pure red. I'm running out of fingers to swatch. This one I was really impressed by when I went to brunch with them and swatched this one. This one was the first shadow that I swatched. I was all over it, let me touch that. Let me put that on my face. Then we have Potential, which is a yellow. I am so excited about a yellow as well. I don't have any yellow eyeshadows. I think I have one out of a Wet n Wild palette, but it's not that poppin', so I'm really excited about this. This is a little bit more of a muted yellow. It's not like a orangey yellow or a golden yellow. It's more like a yellow. I guess that makes sense. Then we have this really pretty blue. It's called Indestructible. This is a cobalt blue, so this is as blue as blue gets. This is blue. And this one is really pretty as well. Yeah, it's a cobalt blue. These shades are gonna be really cool for school colors or things like that, when you are I need a yellow eyeshadow, or I need a blue eyeshadow, or a green eyeshadow, and I can't find any anywhere. These are gonna be really good. They're very pigmented. They are thebomb.com. This is probably one of my favorite colors, as well as the red one. This is Transform. This is a green, it's not an olive green, it's not an emerald green, it's not a lime green, it's just a perfect shade of green. It's so freaking pretty. And that swatch on my hand is like this. Look at these colors, you guys. It's kind of in between. Transform is in between the blue and the blue-green. It's kind of right in between the two, so she probably mixed in a little bit more blue in the shade Tenacious. well, she did mix in a little bit more blue to make it more of like a blue-green. It's kind of like that blue-green crayon in the Crayola crayon box. It's just like that. And then we have the purples, which I'm gonna do a look with today as like my first impression. So the first one is Invincible. This is a deep kind of like violet purple. And it swatches like this. Very, very, very beautifully. And then we have a more like a maroony berry, kind of like a wine kind of color. This is called Dedicated. And I watched her video when she first mentioned these on her channel, which I'll have listed down below, that she wanted these to have like a really powerful, it's really hard to swatch with my pinky because it doesn't apply as much pressure, but that's, that one is Dedicated. But she mentioned that she wanted these to have really powerful, meaningful names because they are power pigments, so they're like pure pigments. So I really like that she came out with like really powerful names to make them like different from like Cocoa Bear or Sidekick or something just kind of basic. These have really, really powerful names. So the next shade that I have Courageous, which is a little bit more on the pinky side. It's like a pinky purple, a little bit more muted of a color, and it swatches like this. So it's in between, like you can see the change with all the pinks and the purples. I'm going to show you guys in a second. But the last one is Unleashed, which is a pure pink eyeshadow, which I don't have either. So this one is, once again, just a hot pink kind of color. And so you can see with the purples, it's a deep purple, it's the plum purple, it's the more like pinky purple, and the hot pink. And then they all down at the same time. I'm gonna re-swatch the yellow since I did that with my pinky finger, and that doesn't apply pressure, and now you can see it now that I've used a different finger. And then I'm also going to re-swatch the eggplant kind of color since I used my pinky on that one. So now you can see, you guys, these are buildable, very, very, very buildable. Look at that orange swatch. Reapplying these, you're gonna get so much pigmentation. I'm so excited, you guys. Like, I haven't used these specifically so I could do a first impression video. I'm excited. Alright, you guys, so lid is already primed with my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I'm just gonna set it down just a tiny bit with the NYX Translucent Setting Powder, as you guys know. And then we're just gonna go in with Sidekick out of to MakeupGeek Single Eyeshadow. It's just my favorite transition shade at the moment. It's not as deep as Cocoa Bear. It's a little bit brighter, a little bit more like orangey, but I don't want it to be too orangey. So this is the shade that I'm going in with, Sidekick. And I think the regular pans are about $6. So not expensive at all. It's in between like a MAC Anastasia Beverly Hills like Morphe Color Pop kind of thing. I don't really like Morphe eyeshadows, like their single shadows. I don't think they're as good as like the eyeshadow palettes. I know that may sound weird, but I don't really like those, so I stick with my MakeupGeek and also my Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadows. So like I mentioned, Sidekick with an E40 fluffy blending brush. I'm just gonna work this into the crease, and this is just gonna be my transition shade before I go in with any other shades on my eye. And of course, this formula is amazing. I don't have anything. This is normal. You guys know I use this shade all the time, so. So now we're gonna go into the Power Pigments, and also like I mentioned, this palette I believe is gonna be for sale as well. These are new. These are formulated and made by MakeupGeek. They're plastic, and they're really, really, really durable. So if you were like to drop your eyeshadows, they wouldn't crush as say like a cardboard Z palette. Like the Z palette is made with cardboard. This is made with plastic. So this is just a lot more durable and steady. However, back to the eyeshadow. The only thing I don't like about this palette is that I can't flip it all the way over to the back because I don't like to have it open just flat like this. It just takes up space on my desk and on my vanity. So that's the only downfall that I find with this. But let's go into these shadows. So I'm first going to use Courageous, which is the which is the kind of like mid-tone. It's like a maroony pink. And I'm going to apply this into my crease as well. This is gonna be like my bridge shade, like, oh, I almost put it over there, in between the creased shade and also the transition shade. So I call that my bridge shade. Just go smack in the middle. Just apply it like that. There is kickback in the pans. However, I don't have anything on my face, but I assume that that's to be expected with using a power pigment, which is a pigment in a pressed form. So I'm not having any trouble with like blending or anything like that. But as you guys know, I always go back in with the previous color. So right now I can't really see too much of Sidekick. So I'm just gonna go back in with a little bit more of it and just kind of go over the top of the shade that I just used. Just to make sure that that's peeking through a teensy bit. And this is just a really pretty, like, just a mid-tone shade. If you're gonna do like a pinky eye look, it's really pretty for that. And the brush I'm using is a Morphe M433. So now to add some definition to the look, I'm gonna use the Vibrant Purple, which is called Invincible. I'm gonna use this purple in the crease. This is going to add some dimension. And I'm also going to be using a MakeupGeek defined crease brush, which is really small and tapered enough to get like out here in the crease and in the socket of the crease. I'm not gonna take this too far in. I wanna kind of keep this out here. So I'm gonna put a couple of shadows in the inner portion, but I am gonna take this and bring it into the crease like that. This brush is really nice, especially for detailing in the outer crease. Like if I want to apply like a deeper color, so like a dark purple or a black or dark brown, it's really nice because it just gets right here in the socket of the crease. And it's fluffy enough to where I can like blend it upwards like that. Really nice. So now that we have that there, I'm going to take more of the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer and just cut out the crease. I always do this no matter what look I'm doing, just so that way it cleans up my lid space a little bit more. I want it to be a lot more structured and kind of like a half cut crease as opposed to like a diffused look. So if I was doing more of like a diffused, blown out kind of smoky eye, I would just apply the eyeshadow, just pack it on both those spaces, but not today. Plus, this just gives the illusion of having a larger amount of lid space than you have. By bringing it up and cutting it out. So now I feel like I've lost a little bit of purple in the crease, so I'm just going to go back in with that diffused brush and just bring that right over the top. And like I said, it's small enough to where you can get in this crease. I'm not sure how these eyeshadows apply to like a wet concealer, but I'm going to try it. So the first shade I'm going to go in with is the shade Dedicated, which is the berry kind of color. I'm going to place that out into the outer corner. And I'm using a Sigma E55 eyeshadow brush. And then I'm going to take, I don't think they apply very well to like a wet consistency. My bad. Oh, that was bad. I'm gonna try to fix it. But I'm gonna take Unleashed, which is the hot pink, and apply that on the inner portion. So far, with the shade that I just used, Dedicated. Applying it to a wet concealer isn't like the best idea. So it would probably be beneficial to like set it with the translucent powder that you use, which I'm gonna try really quick. And then go in with this shadow. Just gonna set that a little bit and see. Let's see. I guess that's what a first impression is for, right? So now I'm gonna take the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, and I was gonna do like a liner, but I think I might do it like over the cut of my crease. I don't know, but I'm gonna take this Pretty Bar eyeliner brush with some NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. Just go over like this. I don't know why I took it all the way out like that, but that's what we're gonna go with, I guess. All right, so this is what I ended up doing. Don't ask me why. I have no idea why I did this. I'm gonna apply a little bit more of that purple out here though, so that way it's a little more pigmented. And then I'm gonna take a MakeupGeek pigment. This is called Hologram. It is like a pinky green, and I'm gonna just pat that right over the top of that white cut. It's like more green than it is pink and purple, but I felt like it would be like a nice twist to this look, just to kind of make it a little bit different. But I mean, if you're not comfortable or you don't own this pigment or whatever it may be, leaving it with the white would suffice as well, and it would look just as pretty. So now I'm just patting more of whatever the lid shade was, just to kind of get rid of the pigment that might have fallen down. So just patting it off. And I do recommend that you apply these shades on like something that has been set with a powder, because if not, it's gonna kind of change the color a little bit. So like out here, it's kind of like a shifting kind of color. All right, I think this turned out pretty cool. I don't know about liner, but this look is giving me like astrology vibes. Like, should I apply liner or should I not? Like, can you guys see right here where it's a little bit more pink as opposed to that maroon color? Because it was like the concealer was wet right there. So it just kind of transformed it a little bit. So I might have to apply liner. So that, well, but I don't want to mess up the concealer. Like the, this up, take the attention away from that. I don't know what I want to do. This is what sucks about makeup sometimes, is you never know what you want to do. Alright, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye and then come back on for like lips and like final thoughts and everything like that. So I will see you guys in a bit. Alright, you guys, so I have done the other eye. Also put on lashes. These are the Baba lashes in the style Mini. And they're just like smaller than a quarter and then wisp out, which goes really well with the kind of eye that we have going on. While I was doing my makeup, I was like, let's use another Power Pigment. So what I'm gonna do is apply the same NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil that I applied onto the top. I'm gonna apply that into the waterline. So this is going to act as a base for the waterline. This is like more of like a cream shadow kind of thing, but it can double as also being a liner as well. So this is just gonna really make that green pop in the waterline because I don't have like a lime green kind of eyeliner. So by doing this, we're just going to fake it till we make it. And as I mentioned earlier, I don't want to use any of the Power Pigments wet, just because it kind of transforms, like it just kind of like makes it a little patchy, like right there. So you want to make sure that you apply it to like a dry product, but for the waterline it's gonna be okay. So we're gonna use this green because the foiled shadow that we use, which is in the shade Hologram, it's kind of like a pinky green. So the shade that we use has some green reflects. So I'm gonna pull that green out of the top by using the shade Transform on the lower lash line and also in the waterline. So I'm gonna use that same flat definer brush and just pack it over the top. Just so that way we have green in the waterline and then underneath as well. And you are going to get some of this in the eyes, so if you have really sensitive eyes, I would suggest, you know, using a green eyeliner if you have one. If not, you could do the same thing, but it is going to get into the eyeball, unfortunately. The only thing I wish that they had was a more like a neon green as opposed to this green, just so that way it was a little bit more matchy with the top, but you know, we're making it work. And now I'm just bringing this underneath for a pop of color on the lower lash line. And then lastly, for the inner corner, I'm going to use the shade Nostalgic, which is like it's a foiled shadow, but it's like a silvery kind of pink. It's not as light as the other pink that I have in this palette, so I'm going to go in with Nostalgic and a Sigma P21 smudge brush, tap off the excess, and pop that in the inner corner. So we're using a lot of shadows, and of course you don't have to use all these shadows if you don't want to, or if you're not comfortable with it. I know it is a lot, but it just kind of completes the look a little bit. And of course you can skip applying Nostalgic if you want to. But I always like to have like a pop of color or a pop in the inner corner. I don't know, just my preference. Alright, so I went ahead and applied mascara, and I also refreshed my face because my face was feeling really dry. Like, it's been really dry today. Now I'm going to move on to the lips, and I'm just going to use this NYX matte suede lip liner in the shade Los Angeles. It's like a nudie kind of rose color. It's not going to apply too much color to my lips, but it's just going to give a little bit of structure. As you can see, it's pretty much skin tone like. And then I'm going to apply this MakeupGeek lipstick. It's in the shade Candid. It's an iconic lipstick, which looks like this. It's kind of like my favorite kind of nude, like a nudie pink. And just apply a little bit, just to give like a little flush of color to the lips. I mainly want to keep the focus on the eyes, because the eyes is like a lot. And if you want to do like a purple or something like that on the lips, it's going to be, you know, of course you could do that. It's going to be like extra and extra, but I'm going to like keep it toned down a little bit. And this is the completed look, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My final thoughts on the MakeupGeek Power Pigments are they're amazing. The colors are really appropriate for spring and summer. Like, you know, when you want to create that colorful look and you just don't have a really good palette, that is when these eyeshadows will come in handy. So there will be an affiliate link down below. If you do choose to purchase anything from MakeupGeek, through that link I will get like a 5 or 10% commission. So I'll get like a little bit of money for you purchasing through that link. I do suggest, if you don't even get the Power Pigments, I would suggest you at least get like their foiled eyeshadows. Those are so bomb. But so if I had to suggest you buying 3 of these power pigments, I would definitely suggest the yellow, the orange, and also the red, just because not a lot of red eyeshadows are red. They're either a little bit more orangey or they're a little more pink, and you can never find a really pigmented, well, I can't ever find a really pigmented yellow. And then orange, I mean, orange is just amazing. If you are like, I don't really want to buy the orange, yellow, yellow, red, and then like the cobalt blue, because not a lot of people have like a blue shade. So those are like the 3 that I would recommend to you guys. Obviously the purples and the pinks are really great. However, there are a lot of companies that have really good purples and pinks and all of that, but there isn't a lot of good yellow and reds. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I'm sorry it was really long, but you know. But I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.